Good morning, pure structure traders and YouTube for a morning market analysis for the US session. Today we'll be going over S&P 500, gold, and also oil. I'm going to show you guys some of the major levels we have here on S&P, and then also I'll be going over a little bit of a minor level that we have on S&P as well. Then I'll go over some of the levels that we got on gold and oil, just to kind of give you guys a preparation for what we're going to be looking for when we draw into the US session. So again, if you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you are not subscribed to the channel yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Any questions you guys got, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We'd love to get back to you guys. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. So for S&P 500, we have some pretty decent areas that we're looking at. Now we broke down our level of support, which is going to be somewhere right around these 45, 51, 50s. Our next level down, as you can see, is going to be 45, 40, 50. And then below that, 45, 32, 50 is our next level of support. Below that, 45, 27, underneath that. Now we are coming up and double topping this area kind of right here, which could end up leading to a move deeper to give us maybe a nice support right here. So a couple ideas that we could tend to have is that we could find support right on these 50, 51s. That's going to be an area that we could find our first area of support and then bounce right back up. If not there, look for this thing to pull down a little bit deeper, support underneath 45, 40, and 0.50. That could be the next area. And then getting below that 45, 32, 50 would be probably this zone between 27 to 32 is going to be a pretty decent support zone for me. Now we're breaking down two major areas of support. So we could break this down and then also continue the shorts through our supports. So just keep that in mind. S&P breaking those two areas and breaking down those 40, 50s could definitely lead to a deeper dive into supports below, which is why we have more of a deeper support down here, 44.93.25. But right now you can see double topping in this area. So I'm curious to see what we do as we draw into the US session. But again, let's go ahead and move over to a smaller chart here, show you guys what we're looking at on this smaller chart. So bring this over here, S&P, you can see we do have a little bit of a micro area that we could potentially hold, which is right around these 45, 47s. That is the micro area that you could look out for. If not, the developing support that you really want to kind of see happen is going to be right at these 45, 40, 50s. That could be a definite decent support that pushes us higher. Right now, we're not holding support on top of those 51, so not necessarily a good area for us to try to go long. But getting underneath that, you could definitely see maybe a nice um, fourth bounce from this area, 45, 32, 50 as the next area of support. And I do got a deeper one right around 27. As we zoom out, you could see prior area of a peak turned into support. So you just want to keep that in mind. After that, it could definitely be a free fall from there. So just keep those in mind. We got resistance up above sitting at 45, 66, 25. And then above that, 45, 77 as the next area of resistance, 85, and then 90 for S&P 500. Let's go ahead and move into what's going on with gold. So for gold, we did break down a little bit of a prior support, but let's just take a look at it. We had support at 1783.1, and the next support we had at 1779.7. Right, so want to see how we react. Staying below 1783.1 could definitely bring us deeper down. Now we did break down through a second level of support, so this is pretty important. I do think that we may end up drawing further down into supports below at 1774.8 on gold. So just keep that in mind. Could have a nice triple top sitting right at this top area. So as we get into this, we'll see in the US session if we hold this area of prior support as resistance and then pull us down. If not, want to see it break back up above these 1783.1s, come back, retest as support, and then continue higher into 1789.1, and then our next resistance 92.9 and 96.1. So that's going to be the ideas, but right now holding prior support as resistance could definitely cause a nicer deeper dive into support of 74.8. Move over into crude oil. So let's take a look at what we got on crude oil. Now, crude oil we did hold nice support, not 17, but 67.54, and then below that 67.28. Nice bounce off this area, nice bounce over here. You can see the inverse head and shoulders that came up. So we do want to see, again, we are breaking above prior resistance. We came back a little bit deeper. This actually could formulate a head and shoulders that pulls us down. So just keep that in mind. 68.31 could be a nice area of resistance. Now you are moving a little bit bullish, so you could break up, have a nice, maybe a higher double top kind of right at the top of this peak here. Let me just put a horizontal line. So right at the top of this peak, which is going to be somewhere around 68.50. That could be where we double top. That's not really a level for me, but we'll see if we actually have touched that area. A little bit of resistance further back, so just keep that in mind. That could be the area, but I am seeing a developing head and shoulders that could happen. We'll see if this can actually bring us deeper down into supports. Supports again, 67.54 could see a bounce of support from there. Underneath that, 67.28 is our next level of support. Now I do have underneath 66.50 and also 65.64 as the next levels down. So if we do crack those 67.28s, that's going to be the directional target that we're going to be looking at as we come down, which is going to be those 66.50s, and then below that 65.64. So just keep in mind 66.50 may act as a pretty decent support down below here, but I think we may want to try to fill this area here. So just keep in mind, if we hold this resistance, that is going to be where we're looking for our shorts to come down into support of 67.54 and 67.28. So very curious to see how we look as we draw into the US session open. But that pretty much wraps it up for what we're looking at. Again, if you want those longs here on crude oil, I like the above 68.31. That could be a prior resistance holding as support. But really, I'd rather get long above 69.21. That's going to be a better area for me, but we'll see what happens. Or getting long at our supports. Better area for me is going to be the either 67.54, 67.28, 66.50s, or 65.64. So just keep those levels in mind. Right now, holding resistance, got to play at our levels. So that's where we want to kind of have that support resistance come in for a short opportunity. So we'll see what happens at the US session. That wraps it up here for S&P 500, gold, and also oil. Again, if you guys do like these videos, please go ahead and smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Any questions you guys got, feel free to pop them in here on YouTube. We'd love to get back to you guys. But again, if you guys continue to trade, make sure you guys trade with discipline and patience. You guys have a great day and have a great US session. Take care.